and pop that to one side and prepare my other components. As before, I'm just cleaning away any dust and dirt, any obvious contaminants, anything that looks like we don't want. Excuse me while I find something from the toolbox. It's a bit dusty looking. I'll see if I can clean that a bit better. It's certainly picked up a lot of dirt. Alright. This outer case fits on in one position. There's a locating pin. And there are 4 screws that go down beside that. I'm checking to make sure I put these components in the correct locations. That looks good. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself here because I haven't checked my shutter speeds, which I need to do. I'll just check that at an 8. That was too fast. This is an 8 here. I'm found at number 1. Okay, so that's running a little bit fast. Yeah, I've already got my speed cam in as far as I can get it to go. I think I'll just check that. Cock that shutter. Just to give me access to this screw. Move that speed train in, that's as far as it'll go, which means it's going as slow as it can reasonably go. Looking at the arm on here on that retard gear train, it appears to me that's been bent in. That means someone's adjusted that in, which would make it run fast. That's better actually. So see what it's like on the 15th. That sounds credible to me. I'll test that on my tester and see how that goes. That all looks good to me. So, some closing up time. Now, does this ring need to go on first? No. No, it doesn't. So 4 screws. It goes in 4 positions around the periphery here. Just check nothing's caught. No, that looks good. That pulled down into place correctly then, which means it wasn't pulled down correctly before. Nothing's trapped. No. So far, so good. Clearing all the old dirt and grease from this front dress ring. And this fits in one position from memory. And this piece certainly does. Sits down there. Here's our number plate. The number plate is the piece that has the serial number of the lens on it. And these are awkward to get positioned. I'm not sure how it fell out, to tell the truth. Just try popping that into place. I'll feed the screw in from the outside. This little number plate is the serial number of the lens. Or it should match the serial number of the lens. I think that's good. Let's check that's all done up, that's fine. So we've got 4 screws from around here, or should have. This lens is the lens, this button is the lens catch. On the reflex they have a catch to hold the lens in. On the 3Cs, of course, they don't have a catch at all, even though they're otherwise the same setup. Why is that so tight? Something's not quite right there. Investigate. I think I discovered the secret of that missing screw from earlier. There was a fourth screw, it was just the incorrect one. So at some stage in an earlier repair somebody had used the wrong part. Let's lift this off. That certainly moves smoothly enough now. It didn't want to move smoothly with this in place. Interesting. Let's try that again. Right, we're closing in on it now. So I'm just cleaning the settings rings here for the aperture settings. It's quite stained. It's got oil impregnation, I'd say, into that. It would be anodised aluminium almost certainly. And it just seems to be quite stained. Using some more aggressive solvent here, that seems to be lifting that rubbish out. Just can't use it where there's painted features, otherwise I might remove the marks. That looks good. Another ring. It's the shutter speeds marked on it. That looks okay. And the setting ring, the knurled ring that you actually turn to change your shutter speed settings. Clean that. That looks fine. These should fit on over here. Checking it's in the right position, that looks good. It certainly controls the shutter speed. I'll put a little bit of lubricant, a bit of molybdenum on that surface where it runs over that detent ball there. It'll make it run a little bit smoother. Make sure it picks up this tab on the speed ring at this point. Something's not quite right now because it's not moving correctly, or my aperture ring has slipped out of place. It should be over there somewhere. It appears to be better. That seems good. Let's check and see what sort of results we're getting. F22. What about if we set this to, it's not coupling, why is that not coupling? That's better. No, something's not right here. That looks correct. That looks fine. This is a bit of an act, getting this lever back in place. Where's my tab? Oh, it's right in there. Right. That should be it. Three little screws, small chrome screws, easily damaged. And I just knocked the screw container over, and one of them got away. I know, there it is. Didn't get away well enough. Get those three screws in place. Set this to f2.8. That looked fine. What is f4? F4 at, let's make that a quarter. F2 at a quarter. That's good. So that is all working correctly. And I'm going to fit the front lens group in place. So I'm just checking now to see what it's like. It's quite clean. The glass is quite clean. The mount is not so clean. It's quite stained, but that's fine. So I'll just give that a blowout. That fits in one position only. You've got to line up your little red tab and hold in this button, and it'll click into place. That's all good. So all I have to do now is adjust my focus, and I'll adjust my focus here, being quick and dirty, by looking out the window and using the finder until the infinity position here, hard up against its stop, matches the infinity seen in the finder. Okay, well, that focus is now adjusted. That looked good. We can pop this trim ring back into place. This goes in and covers those screws at the bottom. Our focus scale ring has to go into place. Now getting these in place is always a little bit of an act. I'm checking there's a couple of positions this can go in, so I'm making sure we've got it in the right one. That's round here a bit further. And you have to get it seated down into the groove in that trim ring at the bottom. It's always a little bit of an act. And there's that single chrome screw, broad head, quite short, that fits in here and traps the ends of that focus scale. So I'm just running around this with a toothpick trying to get it seated into that groove. So it's seated on one side. I've got to chase it round here. You know when it's in because you can just see a bit of the chrome trim, the chrome rim above it. That looks good. I can tighten that screw. That's our focus all correct. And then we have the focus knob. It goes in that position. Now you might remember the screw was a bit mutilated. Well, fortunately I found a better example in my parts. So I'll drop that into place. That should tighten up. That looked good. And there we have it. So answering the question, will it run? In this case, most definitely yes. So there, we've recovered from a fairly disastrous repair attempt, and that camera can will live to go again. So thanks for watching.